I'd like to call this meeting to order. Today is December 10th, 2018. Mr. Calavita, may I have a roll call vote, please?
Mr. DiDonato?
Present.
Ms. Long?
Here.
Mr. Markulek?
Here.
Ms. Murray?
Here.
Ms. Peterson?
Here.
See her, Ms. Plar? Here. Mr. Sawicki?
Here.
Ms. Tracy?
Here.
And Ms. Wolf?
Here.
A quorum.
The New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and to attend the meetings of public bodies at which any business affecting their interests is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of the Act, the Hopewell Valley Regional Board of Education has caused notice of this meeting to be published by having the date, time, and place thereof communicated to the Hopewell Valley News, the Times, and the Trentonian on January 9th, 2018, and December 28th, 2018. This meeting notice was also sent to Comcast Cable and Verizon Fios. The board reserves the right to enter into executive session during all meetings of the Board of Education. The meeting is being videotaped for the purpose of board review, future reference, preparation of the minutes, and viewing on Comcast Channel 19, Verizon Fios Channel 32, and the school district website, www.hvrsd.org. Maybe I'll rise for the flag salute, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like a motion, please, to approve the minutes of November 12th, 2018.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstain? Motion carries. Shivani. Is the red button on?
Okay. So first off, we're going to do past events. So on Tuesday, November 27th, the high school had an enhanced lockdown drill. And this was held during the recitation period. And prior to this, students and teachers discussed ideas of how they could prepare for this. So methods included barricades and other things like pushing desks and having ideas for where to place themselves in the classroom in the event of an armed shooter entering the building. A few weekends ago, there was a Model UN conference at Rutgers, and many students received awards, including Julia Rubin, Lauren Coppins, Anna Torpy, Dhruv Kapadia, Zaid Sharif, and Chinook Thaddeus. On Monday, December 3rd, in the morning during classes, the seal of biliteracy testing was administered, and it was available for German, French, and Spanish languages. Moving on to sports, Kelsey Fithin, Kylie Pfluger, and Bella DiNardo were honored at the Central Jersey Field Hockey Coaches Association Awards banquet. Patrick Alex of football was the Charles J. Falzone Memorial Award winner for Best Lineman. And for hockey, Hopewell beat Steiner 4-2. For boys soccer, many of the players received the Trentonian All-CVC Players Awards. For first team, Luke Tartaglia and Ben Morial made it. Second team was Pat Mormau and Eric Goldberg. And honorable mentions were Zach Theodore, Ian Duresha, and Mason Bursack. For girls soccer, Braylee Walters was chosen CVC Coach's first team, CVC Goalie of the Year, and recipient of NJGSCA state recognition. Maddie Ellis and Nicola Mozionek were chosen CVC Coach's first team, and they also received the NJGSCA state recognition. Carly Cison and Charlotte Hare were chosen CVC Coach's second team, and Charlotte additionally received NJGSCA state recognition. And Emily DeNero was chosen CVC Coach's third team. On November 14th, Hopewell seniors signed their national letters of intent. Kelsey Fithin for Sacred Heart, Riley Finnegan for Westchester, Chris Lanciano for Bucknell, John O'Connor for Boston University, and Sean Dolan for Villanova. For upcoming events, there's not many, but Student Council is holding a blood drive this Friday, December 14th, from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. in the PAC lobby, and we highly encourage not just students, but any members of the community to participate in this life-changing event. And we also have the pep rally the last Friday before winter break.
Thank you, Shabani. Does anyone have any questions for her?
Did you mention where you're going?
Well, I haven't really gotten back my decisions yet. They come back around January or the earliest, so just waiting.
Patiently,
Yeah.
right? Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shabani. Dr. Smith?
Excellent. Thank you very much. I'm going to roll mine into the recognition of our retiring board members. Tonight, we recognize the final Board of Education meeting of Leanne Peterson and Lisa Wolf. These are big losses for us as a district. Leanne Peterson served on our board as the vice president for many years and also the chair of our negotiations committee. She was actually on the board that hired me 10 years ago. So thank you. She was the last board member.
That's right.
Left.
Man
who hired me.
standing.
Yeah. But honestly, Lee, throughout her tenure here, her business acumen and experience has provided us a lot of guidance, particularly for then new superintendent. I really appreciated her insight and support. She was helpful in reminding us to be sensitive to and cognizant of the large number of working parents we have when we're scheduling our meetings and our events, and I really appreciate you always reminding me, or us, for that. You know, I really think Lee is leaving the district in a better place than she found it, and we're better because of you, so thank you. Fun side note, Lee is actively involved in our alumni boards of both our high school and college. So I really hope that you'll stay around and be part of us, and we'll look forward to watching your kids grow up in the district also.
Still here.
So it's nice.
Thank you.
Now, for Lisa Wolf, this will be difficult. We basically came on the HBRSD scene together and grew together. You know, when we remember somebody like Lisa Wolf, we remember her because she cares. She cares and fought for those who couldn't or didn't know they should. Her passion to make Hopewell Valley Regional School District better is evident in everything she did. Her work to organize the board, help them function and engage in discussions, changed the course of Hopewell Valley and laid an excellent foundation for the future. Under her leadership, input from the community was not only encouraged to be part of the discussion, but their suggestions were often acted upon. Lisa, your contributions to the Hopewell Valley Regional School District will be remembered for many years to come. Over the past 10 years, you have had a profound impact on the functioning of the district and the changes that will outlast all of us. On a personal note, I consider Lisa a friend. During our time together, we've laughed, we've cried, we've shared, we've been quoted and misquoted by the media. But what was always evident was her support of me and of our district. I have too many stories to tell or examples of her successes, but I'll be more than happy to share any after the meeting. But I simply cannot thank you enough for all you have done for me and for the Hopewell Valley School District. Our successes are your successes, and as you transition to the next phase of your career, you can rest easy knowing that your efforts are appreciated and your work will continue. We do have one special dedication that we'd like to show. Actually, we have two, but the first one we'll share with you. It's actually dedicated to Lisa and Lee.
Oh, no. Oh, God.
unfortunately, we couldn't coordinate getting all the students here this evening, so we dedicated that video to both of you.
Thank you.
And your support of the arts is truly appreciated. Now we have tokens of our esteem. Thank you for all of your work. This reads, presented by the Hopewell Valley Regional School District Board of Education, to Lisa Wolf in appreciation for your years of service and dedication as a member of the board, 2009 to 2018.
Sir?
Come on in. It's going to be weird. It's going to be different. I mean, what I said is all true, and we really appreciate everything you've done for all of us.
Aiden wasn't even, I didn't even have kids in the school yet.
No, Lee was
No,
pregnant
you
when
were
we
pregnant,
ran.
but yeah. Yeah.
Well, while Lee was here to bring you on, Lisa's the one who brought me on. And it was a very last minute sort of thing, but I had been on the Pennington Borough Council and moved 400 feet outside of the borough. So I was sitting in Hopewell Township, and she said, "How about you do this?" And I was like, okay. And I'm very grateful. It's really been incredibly rewarding, and you've been a wonderful mentor, and you're really going to be missed. Okay. Does anyone else? So moving on to any item of old business. Oh.
We're going to do public comment in probably
Right now.
seconds.
Right this minute.
If I could just supersede you, Mr. Gunther, you're right there. We do have one special guest public comment. It's kind of not public comment, but who sent their video along. Turn this off. This one is for Lisa. This is Dr. Reppelette, the Commissioner of Education.
Hello, this message for Lisa. Lisa, how you doing? I hear that you're retiring from the Hopewell Valley School District as a board member. Well, Lisa Wolf, congratulations. Thank you for your service. I'm sure you've done a wonderful job serving the students, not just in your community, but other students in other communities. So on behalf of the Department of Education, we want to say congratulations and happy retirement. Take it easy, Lisa. See you soon.
I'm a fan.
Oh,
She's a
he's
fan.
great to
Yes,
listen
yes,
to.
yes.
Oh my gosh, he's great.
So, I'm sorry, Mr. Gunther, you got it.
You have some people that have to side here waiting to come in. You may want to tell them
Absolutely.
to come in.
Do you want to call public comment?
I think you probably
Members of the public are invited to address the board on any matter for a maximum of 3 minutes during this portion of the meeting. You are asked to state your name, address, and municipality. In response to your comments, the Board of Education may respond or direct the superintendent to do so. The board may also opt to take the matter up at a future meeting so that the matter is researched by the district administration. Public comment is now open.
1 second, Paul.
Sure. Good.
Thank you.
Hello again. My name is Paul Takis. I'm a resident of Pennsylvania, and I'm representing the Hopewell Valley Education Association tonight. I am here to publicly respond to figures shared in a November 23rd article in Hopewell Valley News called "School Board Union Remains Stalled in Talks in New Contract." In it, our administration compared figures for instructional time between Hopewell and surrounding districts. While it is correct that the contract language in Hopewell stipulates that high school teaching staff have an average of 225 minutes of instructional time per day, we do not count duty periods as instructional time. On the other hand, Princeton High School does, hence the 300 minutes of instructional time. A high school teacher in Hopewell can teach 4 53-minute periods, facilitate a 35-minute recitation period, and have one 53-minute duty period on a given day, totaling 300 minutes of instructional time. This does not violate our contract language of an average of 225 minutes because we define instructional time differently than Princeton. But the administration neglected to include that distinction in their comments to the reporter. The article also cited median salary figures, making it appear that we are better paid than teachers in Princeton. If that is the board's position, that it would be better for this district to adopt Princeton's salary guide, then I'm prepared to sign off on adopting that guide here tonight. I'm sure our membership would find this agreeable, given that those at the very top of Princeton's guide make more than $16,000 compared to the members at the top of our guide. When the administration shared data from other districts, they conveniently misconstrued the contract language of the surrounding districts to fit their narrative. A narrative that suggests that we are underworked and overpaid. A narrative that we find suspect given that the district celebrates our bypassing Princeton in the New Jersey monthly school rankings, a jump that happened while working under the language of our expired contract. And to what end, I do not know. Because on January 9th, the fact finder is going to do precisely that. Weigh the facts, not some cheap narrative designed to denigrate our contributions to this community. I cannot overstate this enough. If this is what we can expect out of your team on January 9th, then I am very much looking forward to our presentations and the fact finder's report. Reading articles like this is why we take these negotiations so personally. All the lip service we receive about being valued gets diminished with articles like this. You were telling the professionals in this district that you believe they are underworked and overpaid, and when the numbers didn't match that reality, you bent the truth to fit your narrative. The professionals of this district deserve better. We constantly roll with every changing initiative, the frequent snafus, all the while making sure we deliver the same high-quality education, ensuring that you all look good. I remember a long-time administrator used to say we were a high-achieving district with a soul. We are still a high-achieving district. Hopefully we can regain our soul next year. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Takis.
Hi, my name is Leslie Salvato. I'm a parent of 4 Hopewell children, taxpayer, 25-year veteran teacher, and cannot stay silent any longer. Too many questions have gone unanswered. What we do as Hopewell Valley educators speaks loudly, yet while you seem to notice, it's unclear how important you think it is. I know firsthand the struggles our children face, as I've seen them in the classroom as well as at my doorstep. I've watched teachers, coaches, administrators struggle to help our students thrive at a time when staying alive feels like half the battle. I have watched stressed out colleagues caring for our students, worrying about them, communicating with parents at all hours of the night, and meeting privately with students, parents, and administrators. Their commitment is relentless and yet continuously taken for granted. The new normal is that we begin each year without a guarantee about our income. I don't know of any other profession that would expect employees to commit to a job before knowing the income and benefits being offered. But perhaps the problem is that the board knows that as well, and counts on the sheer integrity of our teachers to continue to support children in becoming successful human beings, giving them what they need to succeed in life, and sometimes saving their lives, even when our pay is unknown. Quite honestly, it's embarrassing and disappointing that you do not have that same integrity, that a group of leaders, many who are also Hopewell parents, who know the stress we are under, caring for your children, along with our own families, children, aging parents, are not being honest nor share the same passion for us as we do the children here. This district's reputation is on the rise as we're now ranked 16 in New Jersey. Test scores are high, students are going to colleges and becoming outstanding citizens. Yet somehow our pay has gone down as our health insurance continues to go up, though not along with the rising cost of health care, but instead the rising cushion the district has been creating. How could we not have known about this cushion? What we do know is that there has not been an urgency to fix this problem. There's not been an honest communication about the funds that have been used for a cushion, nor why that has been the priority over paying us in a way that says, we value you and know this district would not be what it is without you. Instead, a simple nod that you see us and that we will meet again in January. January. That doesn't feel like urgency to me. Personally, it feels dismissive, and yet in a way makes sense, because even now when we are urged to come in at 8:20 and leave at 3:50, we are not doing that. Because as you know, if we did, no lessons would be written. But you know that, and that's the most disappointing part. And so I chose to speak today, even though we were asked not to, because continued silence feels similar to what you are doing, and that's not who we are. We do as we say we will do, and we do it with integrity and authenticity, because that is who we are, Hopewell Valley. We cannot be silent anymore, because this community needs to know that we are still working, without a contract, without financial stability, and without the confidence that the board has our best interest in mind.
Thank you, Ms. Lovato.
My name is Julie Blake. I live on 5 Fanning Way in Hopewell Township. And I am here to talk about something different, and I don't want to dishonor why most of you are here, but I am here for a very important reason as well, and that's to honor my friend Lisa Wolf, who is a long-term friend and colleague and peer. I have known Lisa for almost 20 years. Our children went to preschool together. We taught at TCNJ at the same time. We have professional experience. I am on the Hopewell Township Committee, and I'm speaking tonight as a friend and as a committee person who had a wonderful experience working with all of the board here, and Lisa is a leader in that. But I also have played mahjong with Lisa for years and years and years, and I know that many of you know Lisa as a very sensible, clear-eyed financial whiz, as well as a compassionate, understanding person of children and education. But I know Lisa as a very superstitious, crazy person who says Kenahura and Hakuna Matata when she needs to win a hand. But I want to say tonight that how much I've appreciated working with you, knowing you, and I'm sad beyond belief to know that you're not here. But I know that our friendship will continue, and I just want to thank you for your service. Thanks. Thanks.
Thank you, Ms. Blake.
My name's Ray Penny. I'm with New Jersey School Board Association, and I'm here like Julie. I saw all these people here. I said, Tom, what did you invite me to? I'm with New Jersey School Board Association, and actually, like the NJA, we have county school board associations. And Mercer County is the one that we're really trying to develop, and we have a person there who coordinates the meetings. And I said, we need a good leader in Mercer County. And short time later, she goes, I have someone for you. But I probably should warn you, she's probably not going to tell you what you always want to hear. She's going to tell you what she's thinking, which is really what I enjoy. I like someone who has convictions. I don't like someone who doesn't have convictions. So Lisa, I got to know Lisa. She really changed the county association, and then we put her on NJSBA's legislative committee. And she was always the one person I could count on to really speak up on the issues, and always, I don't mean give a contrary point of view, but make us think about other issues and look at the whole global picture, always in a nice way. And then Lisa and I actually, I think, became friends. We've had lunch together, and we actually have a lot of good agreements on a lot of issues, and I think she made a difference. And I know people here, you only see your board members as someone who sits at this table, deals with their local district. But she did work outside the district. She helped board members in training outside and within Mercer County, and she also advocated on behalf of school districts, on behalf of students at the state level. So her work was beyond this board table. I have a plaque for her, and it's a certificate of appreciation from the New Jersey School Board Association, who honors Lisa Wolf for her leadership in increasing training and networking programs in Mercer County, for her advocacy efforts on behalf of all New Jersey's public school students. So, Lisa, I'd like to give this to you.
Shake hands through here. Thanks.
And just to say how good a leader she is, I looked up Lee. I said, I didn't know Lee. I said, oh, she's got 10 years. I'm going to get her a pin, and then I forgot.
I've already got one.
She already
got me one.
So, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Penny.
Good evening. My name is Kevin Kuczynski. I'm currently serving with Julie on the Hopewell Township Committee and a mayor. I'm also president of the Hopewell Valley Education Foundation. So first I want to thank both Leanne and Lisa and the entire board for all you've done to promote educational excellence in Hopewell Valley schools. But a night like tonight would not be complete without a story or two. So, you know, like Julie, I've known Lisa for a very long time. You know, our youngest sons went to same school, same teacher, all through elementary school. And then miraculously, they weren't in the same class again until now, the senior year. And I was impressed about that until I learned that the class they were in together was, they were in their gym class and they were in their study hall together. So, but the old friends got to see each other again. One of the things, though, that I think is a testament to what Lisa and this board has done is a couple years ago, Lisa said, I'd like to have you and Paul Pogorzelski join me, Tom Smith, and Bob Colavita down at the New Jersey board meeting down where all the statewide education groups got together. And I said, well, what's the subject you want us to speak to? And they said, we want you to speak to the strong partnership between the municipalities in Hopewell Valley and the school district. And I said, isn't that the norm? And she said, well, no, we feel that we've accomplished some really special things together. And, you know, I think that's a tribute to just something special in Hopewell Valley that, you know, I think we're all in it for our kids. I've heard some of that other folks speak about that earlier, but it's also the leadership that we've had of the board, the leadership we've had at our schools, and the leadership with Dr. Smith coming in. So I just want to say thank you, Lisa, on behalf of all of us. In her new role as executive director at FOVOS, she has a term called being a force of nature. And I can think of no better term for Lisa Wolf than being an amazing force of nature and a tremendous advocate for our kids. Thank you both, and good luck.
Thank you, Mr. Kuczynski.
Good evening. Heidi Olson, a teacher in this district in Hopewell Elementary School. I'm proud of that. And past president of the HVA. And I want to say a few things. One, thank you to each of the board members seated here tonight, because you are serving your communities. You're volunteering your time, and that's very important. But you also need to step back and remember these folks and all the many that are not here with us tonight or out in the hallway or out in the parking lot also volunteer their time above and beyond their job every single day, whether it's called for or not. And this is not necessarily their community where they live, but they care about these kids. They give everything in their hearts to these kids during the day, after hours, weekends, holidays, and so forth. You need to keep that in mind as you sit here and have your meetings and do your time as a community member. I also want to say that the start of the school year, Ms. Murray, you made a comment that this is the Hopewell way. Well, I may be old. I've been here longer than any of you, coming to these meetings, serving as a teacher, serving for my association. This is not the Hopewell way. This has never been the Hopewell way. With all due respect, the Hopewell way was something we were very proud of, and that was a system of collaboration and respect, communication. That's broken down. That needs to come back. That is one of the things that brought Hopewell Valley to stand above and beyond other districts in this community, surrounding communities, and across the state, was our level of respect and communication with each other. I'm asking you, please, as a staff member, and as somebody who just has given her heart and soul to the kids in this district and the staff in this district, please stop. Come back, talk, work, and show respect. That's not a lot to ask for. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Olson.
Hello. First, I want to say thank you to all the teachers here who have helped. My name's Liz Moyo. I live here in Pennington, and I want to thank you for all the your efforts in helping educate and raise my 3 children over the years, so thank you. And I want to thank the school board. I'm here in particular for Lisa and her retirement tonight. And also want to thank Lee for her service. I've served in elected office at the municipal level here in Pennington, at the county level, and at the state level. And whenever anybody asks me what's the toughest job in elected office, I say hands down, school board. I never personally had the guts to run for school board, and I know it's a tough job. Nothing brings out passions like the education of our children and the young members of our community, so I want to also thank you for all the hard work I know you do each and every day. And you've had no more passionate advocate than Lisa Wolf. She has just been an incredible advocate. When I was in the assembly, she would call regularly to advocate on behalf of Hopewell Valley, and it's a real loss to this district that you're leaving, and to be able to have the trust and faith of your own board members to have held the position of president for as long as you did. It really says something. So I just want to thank you, and thank you for your service, and I know we'll still be in touch. Our sons are good friends, and I'm looking forward to you staying involved in the education field for many years to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Moyo.
Good evening. My name is Vanessa Sandin from Hopewell Township. I'm not going to tell any stories about Leanne or Lisa, although I have a few. But I also want to say that there is Ms. Vestmeyer is here, who taught my son first grade 20 years ago. 20 years ago, and I just realized how old I'm getting. So thank you for all your work, for your service. But I wanted to thank the 2 of you for your work and your dedication to this field, to our community. I know how difficult a job it is, Mr. Markulak, how many hours you spend at it, how thankless it can be. But I wanted you to know that we in our community believe that you have been an inspiration in many ways for bringing different groups together to work collaboratively and cooperatively. And I understand that there might be some more discussions that the board has to have with our professionals. I know that will happen because I believe in you, and I've seen you work over the years, and I know a lot of you on the board. And I wanted to come here and just say thank you. It's a great loss to our community. As a citizen, I wish you weren't going. As a former elected official, I just want to say there is life after this board. There's a lot to look forward to. But thank you for all your work and your service. And you too, Mike.
Thank you, Ms. Sandon.
Good evening, I'm David Frederick. I live at 104 West Prospect Street in Hopewell. So first off, I want to say that this group behind me is a phenomenal group of professionals. I speak as a parent of a 6th grader, a 4th grader, and a 1st grader. And there's a reason why we sacrifice things and move to this community, because of the top-notch education that takes place within our schools and classrooms daily. And I'm also reminded of that as principal each and every day at Hopewell Elementary School. So thank you for all that you do, and please know that it does not go unnoticed. I'm also here to recognize and thank Leanne and Lisa. I wear several hats. So on behalf of the 20-plus directors, principals, assistant principals, and supervisors who are members of the Hopewell Valley Administrators and Supervisors Association, I want to share heartfelt thanks to you, Ms. Wolf, for your nearly 10 years of service on the Hopewell Valley Board of Education. Serving on the Board of Ed is a thankless endeavor, and tonight I acknowledge your commitment to the community and to our children. Furthermore, I'd like to express my gratitude for the various initiatives that you've been genuinely embraced, including adopting sustainability efforts throughout our schools and district, and supporting the expansion of STEM for all to further develop young scientists and engineers. Finally, I want to thank you for having the faith and trust in our superintendent, who continues to lead by example, blaze new paths, and lead in a manner that makes us proud. So Lisa, Leanne, thank you. We wish you nothing but the best.
Thank you, Mr. Frederick.
I wasn't going to, but I guess I should. Ex-board member Bruce Gunther, I live in Pebble Creek Court in Pennington. I'd like to tell the story that I told some of the board members here before I finished my term, and that was that I spent 35 years in the city of Trenton as an educator in a number of capacities. I retired feeling a little bit despondent and, disjointed, although I love the students, I love the teachers, I love the schools, everybody in the district. It was just the oppression of poverty and all the other ills of inner city. When I came here and I served the 3 years that I did on the board, I left knowing that the board and the district was in great hands, from the superintendent on down to the janitors. I made a speech here in the last night of my meeting that what this district did for me is gave me confidence again that public education does have value, and it's because of you and the board members. It was a great board. The greatest 3 years I ever spent in education were when I was on this board, meeting people here, the teaching and also the administrative staff. You're both great groups.
Thank you, Mr. Gunther.
Hold on tight. I've been friends with Lisa for a while, and I just did a few little notes because I didn't want to forget. Oh, sorry. Joanne Groger from Lawrence Township School Board. I've had the pleasure to have worked with Lisa for 3 years plus, and it's because of New Jersey School Boards Association that put us together. We've had similar roles, president, vice president. We've gone back and forth through the Mercer County branch of New Jersey School Boards. And I have to say, because of our relationship, there's a kind gentleman in the audience that kind of roped us in and said, it's easy, you don't have to work too hard, Larry Fonside, and we believed him. But because of that, what a gift we've had working together. We've served on the legislative committee for our early Saturday mornings. We've collaborated together for 8th grade Day of Dialogues. We've attended the Delegates Assembly on our early mornings at Mercer County Community College. We've also had a seat at the table at the Delegates Assemblies. And boy, I'll tell you, we have just had such a great time working together. Lisa's been a mentor to me. She's always willing to share her insights. And on a lighter note, I was an honorary member of Hopewell Valley School Boards at NJSBA conventions. This board enjoys working together, and it shows. They set the bar for me to bring back to Lawrence, and I really have appreciated being brought into your little group, so thank you. The newest connection is that we are now Peruvian sisters. We went to Peru together. We learned an awful lot. Some of the newest things that Lisa taught me was that JFK is really Kennedy Airport. I had no idea. We were calling it JFK. She goes, oh, we're almost at Kennedy. And I went, it's another airport? She goes, Joanne, it's the same. So she was kind enough to help me with that. The best thing was she knows how to shop. I didn't know how to bargain. Yes, she got way better deals than I did. I didn't quite get it. I also figured out by watching Lisa, if you give free business advice, it turns into a tour of the owner of the resort's home. She got to go behind the scenes. And the best thing was she taught me how to bid for our first class return. I didn't know you could do that. She taught me that. I'd like to end just by saying thank you for your knowledge. 30 seconds. Thank you for your professionalism, caring, most importantly, your friendship. And both of you, thank you for your service. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Joanne. Ms. Grover.
There's more to that story.
Hi, I'm Pepper Evans. I'm also from Lawrence Township Board of Ed. Lisa and I go back even longer than I think anybody else in the room, right? Do I win?
You do.
Okay. And this is Cardinal Reds, yeah, my Lawrence.
No, they
paint.
were welcoming you. That's why they
Oh, thank you. Thank you. We got the memo then. Okay. Yeah, Lisa and I go back to when our children were babies and we were in Mom's Club. We had a local chapter of a national organization, and we've been friends since our kids were small. Now these kids are in college, so we kind of raised our kids together. Although we didn't live nearby, we stayed connected, and Lisa preceded me into Board of Ed, but many of our original members have gone in. We said it was boot camp for parent-teacher organization presidents, because those moms were really active. And Lisa has always had kids in mind, and I know I want to thank you too, Lee, for the many hours that you put in, because when you're here, you're not with your own kids, and it's a big sacrifice, and the rewards are sometimes elusive. But Lisa, your leadership has transcended across the county and into the state. You've always had put the kids first, and nobody can find any fault in that. Thank you for your service, for your leadership, and your friendship.
Thank you, Ms. Evans. Would anyone else like to speak? Public comment is now closed.
Could I just interrupt one public comment, because there was Senator Turner's office was going to come, but if they did not come, they sent this just in case. I will share with Lisa a proclamation from Senator Shirley Turner's office, the New Jersey State Legislature. A proclamation, I won't read the whole thing, but it was a joint resolution by Senator Turner, Assemblywoman, and Assemblywoman Reynolds Jackson, and Varelli, recognizing Lisa's work in the Hopewell Valley Board of Education. And they would do a better job at reading it than I am, and they'd hoped to be here by now, but if not, I provide this to you from them.
Thank you very much.
First of all, I want to thank each and every one of you for being here this evening. I feel quite conflicted at what I have to summarize, because really what we're celebrating tonight is someone who has been, two people who have been here for a very long time and very supportive of our teachers and staff. And I understand that how you guys feel, because I feel exactly as you do. When Ms. Olson spoke of the Hopewell Way, I don't know what she thought I was talking about, but I believe the Hopewell Way is very collaborative. And many of my children, I have 4 kids that are in the district, and many of the teachers and their former teachers are sitting out there. And if I have not shown how much I respect you, I'd be surprised. I really could go on and on and on about almost each and every one of the people who has taught, coached my children. And I know I speak for the rest of the board when I say that, because they all feel the same way. That's why we're here. That's why we're sitting up here in front of you, not because we want to be, we want people angry at us for making decisions that you're not, happy about, because this decision to go to this fact-finding on January 9th was not ours, as it is not yours. It's part of a process that frankly I don't love, and I understand we have to do this, but I don't ever want anyone to question our integrity. Mr. Takis, I don't know whether there really is a discrepancy between how we're counting minutes and how Princeton is, but we will get to the bottom of that, and I will let Mr. Suzo offer anything, if he has anything to offer right now, unless we need to research it. But please understand that we will go to the January 9th fact-finding. We will get a report, and we will reach a very fair and equitable settlement for both sides, and I hope it happens as soon as possible. Mr. Suzo?
The information that we have is just simply from, obviously, Princeton's contract, as far as what it states, as far as the amount of teaching minutes they're allowed to teach on an average day.
Thank you.
And I'll add, just because I can, and I'll quote that we do not have integrity. I think we do, and I took it very personally. So I will share that, and I will say that I am familiar with where some of the things came from, because as far as the pay went, I believe that they quoted the source in the article, which was the source was the Department of Education. There is a website, there's also a link, and it's very easy to look up, and that's where the information came from. So as far as the pay went, that is public information, and it's very easy to access. So that link will be available if anybody wants to find it. I'm certain you can reach out to Mr. Colavita's office, and he can make it clear to you, or you can just look up NJDOE. It's a source for taxpayers, and it clearly lists, and you can look up every single district in the state, and it lists where we land. And I believe that one of the local blogs or newspapers actually did a search on it and pulled out every single district and ranked them. And we did rank number 39 of 680 districts. And I actually, I don't know if you saw, I wrote something saying that I was saying goodbye in the Hopewell Express. It's in a blog. And what I mentioned is that according to that source on the NJDOE, that our teachers are the highest paid in Mercer County, with the exception of special services, and I took great pride in that, because I have worked very hard since I've been on the board to try and take care of the board. In our last negotiations, not the ones now, but the ones that were led previously, the people who led that were Mr. Takis and Mr. O'Brien, and at the time during those negotiations, they spoke to us about wanting us to show more respect and show other things that we were trying, that the board should be doing. And they went into detail beyond pay and other things, and we have worked hard to put some of the referendum monies toward improving the facilities. We've been trying to do a lot of the things that were brought up, that the teachers asked for a better working environment. And I will say that I understand where Elise said she was conflicted, but I think it's actually helpful to have both of these things at the same time, to recognize that we've put in 10 years, we have a history, we've closed previous contracts, and at the time that we've closed the previous contracts, at least if people were being honest, both sides said that we came to a fair and equitable solution. And I have no reason to believe, if we're all bargaining in good faith, that we're not going to be coming to a fair and equitable solution again. And while comments were made that we are being disrespectful and that we are not collaborating and that it's disrespectful to choose a January date, we didn't choose the January date. You guys should be familiar with how that date was chosen. And your leadership knows how that date was chosen. The date was chosen by the fact finders, and it was the earliest date they could find. The board would have never wanted to defer getting a settlement till January. It is our goal. There is nothing in it for anyone on this board to defer getting a settlement. None of us want to see this drag on. And to suggest that anyone on this board wants to see it drag on is just improper and incorrect. Questioning our integrity, questioning whether we're trying to drag this on. None of that is happening. We are not trying to drag it on. We did not choose the date, and our board has worked with the highest amount of integrity that we can. That's all. Sorry. I'm done.
Don't apologize. Thank you. With that, we'll move on with our agenda. Consent agenda. Yes. Okay. Thank you, Michael. Let's take a 2-minute break. Please. No?
That's going on.
So, graduated Princeton, was commissioned. He's out in Seattle living with his girlfriend. He's got to come back to Fort Lee, Virginia in February. And your other son, how's he doing? Great. Good. All good. That's really so. Yeah. Hey, I want more so against me. Yeah, make the worst part. Yeah. What if I make him fight?
You look like you're whipping out your moonshine. Your moonshine can't come out yet.
Just saying, like Old Boys Commission, living in Seattle.
I don't like to drink out of metal. All those 12 bottles, I cannot stand them. I don't mind the plastic. Great.
The little guys down there.
Moonshine bottle.
Give me a break. A little bit. 20 years. I know. I don't even know my kids. I still have the mind of a 20-year-old. Yeah. 74-year-old. What's going on? I got things to say about you later. Good seeing you again. Yes. Okay.
Thank you for coming. It's good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while.
Come on.
That's right. Oh my God, this is a long time ago. I know. I wish I'd gone to Peru with everybody. I was like, oh, I know. Bye. I like her. So, anyway, yeah.
See you around. Thanks, Roll. I showed you a picture of you. Great to see you.
Timing was perfect.
All right.
Thank you. Oh, no problem. Thanks for coming tonight. I was here when you joined. Thank you. I'm like, it's like the end of an era. I'm like, I feel like I'm like doing all this.
And now I'll bring my name tag up.
Whoa, Jenny! Those boots are awesome.
Did
Rosetta try to rip them off your feet yet?
I tried. I got to do something to get in the spirit.
Those are Rosetta boots. Wow.
You guys are gonna not lose me in the parking lot. I don't want to get lost. I'm gonna be your crossing guard.
I thought I was edgy tonight.
I gotta get it. I got home from our meeting this morning. My Christmas tree on my side, like dead over. I'm like, I've got to get in the spirit. I got to do something.
Maybe she'll trade you for your blue ones. I like your blue ones. Oh, we could have designated drivers.
I could just flag down a Uber. What the heck am I in here?
I'd like to bring us all back to our meeting at hand. Do I have to do anything to go back in? Okay. Okay, we just broke. Literally broke. Oh yeah, we're at consent. We finished that. Okay.
We didn't
No?
do consent.
We did not. We didn't get a motion yet? Okay. A motion to vote on the consent agenda?
Motion. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? Motion carries. Finance and Facilities, Mr. DiDonato.
So I have a couple items to move. Number one, I have some donations that I would like to move. Basically, they're just some instruments and some donations from various people all coming in through Phobos. So I'd like to make a motion to move the donations.
Second.
And then the second one are some change orders. Oh, yeah.
Any discussion? Besides, thank you. Yes, this is you.
I'd like to discuss it.
Okay.
So the donations listed are not coming up on my agenda. But these were, take this.
Do you want the paper?
Yes, please. Are they listed on here? Yes.
Yes.
No. Where are they?
You might have to flip to the next slide.
Oh wait, so these aren't mine. I thought this was.
Yeah, the second portion. There's one that's the instruments, and the next one is the Phobos.
So you had it.
Yeah, but fine.
Sure. Here's mine at the top of the page.
There you go. Okay, good. Oh, bummer she left too. So I would like to read these since you didn't, and I would like them in the record, which is the acceptance of the donation for number 14 was to Friends of Hopewell Valley Open Space, and the gifts were part of the Bear Tavern classroom. We secured a grant for $10,125 from Janssen Pharmaceutical. The Stony Brook Outdoor Classroom, we secured a grant from Vanessa Sandham and Carl Seiden for $10,000. And the CHS Basin, which is about to go in front of CHS, I believe they did the planting this week, or if they didn't, they're doing it next week or something, I don't know. But that was $2,500. That piece of it was from the Watershed Institute. So just this year alone, Phobos brought in 3 different grants totaling $22,625, and that is all going to help the greening of 3 different schools. And it was, I personally, now I'm not necessarily wearing my VP hat, I'm also kind of wearing my Phobos hat, but I shouldn't be because I'm standing behind a desk here. But I think that it was excellent that we have been able to, as a board, work with Phobos to bring in over $20,000 worth of grants, and they already have at least another $15,000 approved and maybe more on the way for some other schools who aren't listed here. So I think that it's been a very good partnership, and I'm glad that the board is acknowledging this gift.
Lisa, I think it would be nice if at a future meeting we could put pictures up of all the things that are listed here.
I would
This
love
doesn't
that.
really do it justice, you know. But
love
thank
that.
you on behalf of the board and the district.
Thank you. And I'm going to abstain on that vote. So.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Opposed, abstain?
Abstain.
Thank you. Motion carries. Anything else you
Yeah,
wanted to
so
share?
the second item were the change orders. And this is for the bathroom renovations. broken down really by two high-level categories. One was tile and grout changes that we made to several of the bathrooms at various schools. And then the second one was really just some unanticipated excavation and some other items that were just unplanned, really. Some, came down to plumbing and really just structural stuff, totaling roughly about $65,000. So that's what the change orders are, and they're in addition to what we're already doing.
The most important question is, are we still within and below budget?
We are below budget, yes.
Thank you.
So I would like to move the change orders.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, abstain? Motion carries.
And then we just had a meeting today to talk about some of the referendum items. We are trending along slowly with some of these things. We are getting to some completion statuses on some of the major projects. So we're looking for to move into punch list items, et cetera. We are working to get some executive summary reports soon. So that is some positives. We are moving into our. We'll be doing some budget discussions in January, and that's it.
Thank you, Mr. DiDonato. Personnel. Okay. We'll need a motion to move the personnel items.
Motion.
Second.
So there are several items on the personnel agenda I'd like to discuss. The first is the acknowledgement of Ms. Daphne Schaub, who is retiring after being with the district since 1985, working in our wellness department at the high school. So we thank Daphne for all of her years of service and wish her well in her future endeavors. And then three very important recommendations for appointments. I would like to first start out with Jane Ellen Lennon, who, if you recall, the board approved back in August to serve as the interim principal at Tollgate. Jane Ellen has done excellent work in her last 3 months as the interim. So this evening we are recommending to the board that we remove the interim tag, and she will officially be now the principal at Tollgate Grammar School. The second, I've had the opportunity over the last several weeks to facilitate a K-12 Supervisor of Language Arts Search Committee, which consisted of a committee of 12 individuals and 2 full days of interviewing with over 85 applicants that applied to the district. And I'm excited to recommend for appointment this evening Mr. Dave Sherwin, who has been a teacher at Central High School, an English teacher since 2007, has done amazing work in the classroom with his students, which has included obviously being recognized as one of our Teachers of the Year. And although we'll be extremely sad to see him leave the classroom, we're excited about the impact we'll have on all of our students in Hopewell Valley. And the last is the recommendation for appointment of our new maintenance supervisor. Mr. Sean Dennis, who is here this evening as well, is coming to us with 15 years of experience in a supervisory role, and we're extremely excited about him joining our maintenance team.
May I have a roll call, please?
Mr. DiDonato.
Yes.
Ms. Long.
Yes.
Mr. Markulek.
Yes.
Ms. Peterson.
Yes.
Mr. Sawicki.
Yes.
Ms. Tracy.
Yes.
Ms. Wolf.
She's walking back.
And Ms. Murray.
She just walked.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Yeah, I just wanted to say briefly, having children in the Tollgate school, I've been able to sort of, experience firsthand how quickly Mrs. Lennon came in and got her arms around, the school, the constituents, whether it be the community, whether it be, the teachers, and most of all the children. And I have to say personally, I was just very, very impressed with how quickly you were able to sort of come in and sort of get your arms around everything, as well as, you know, bring some of your ideas to it too. And I think it was it's been well received. So thank you. So good luck with the.
I'd also just like to say that watching you go from, you know, administrating a lot of programs and seeing you at Ed program every year, to watch you like transform. I mean, like, you're literally a transformer. You transformed yourself. I see a very different side of you that I didn't get to witness before, and it's really showing in how excited people are at Tollgate, and I'm really excited, and congratulations. And Mr. Sherwin, you taught one of my children who really does, I mean, language arts is like the bane of his existence. And you made it exciting, and he's really blossomed after having had you. And so I'm sad for the students on one hand, but excited that we're promoting somebody who is so deserving. And I'm just hoping that you can take that special spark you have with the students and you can just infuse it into the entire community that you'll be overseeing. And so congratulations, and you're welcome. And welcome, Mr. Dennis. We are really excited that you're coming on.
So apparently I missed the vote, but so, Rich, are you here just because you figured that you're being replaced and we...
I'm here for you.
And find out his next assignment.
I have a...
So since you pointed out, we've been discussing Mr. Lang's next assignment, and there is a volunteer wrestling coach that's needed. And knowing your passion, knowing your love for the district, we're hoping that you're willing to take that assignment on next. Anything other than chief negotiator.
Well done.
I actually have a process question. I'm just curious. Mr. Sherwin is the leader of certain clubs. Are our administrators allowed to do that? How does that work? So how does that work?
Find replacements.
We find replacements.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm sorry. Good thing I wasn't here for the vote, man. I mean, we need you for the...
Well, we do have transition, and we do have a couple of administrators who are filling in as group leaders or club leaders during this time.
Okay.
Okay. Ed program. Hey, Jenny.
Done with personnel. I feel like we just ended that very quickly. Everything's on consent, and just quickly, we had actually a really nice meeting this morning with 2 positive presentations. The first was our World Language Exchange Program, where a group of students and their moms came in with them and discussed their experience traveling to it was the Spanish, French, and German exchange programs. So it was very, very positive, very nice discussion with them. And then we had our elementary STEM leaders from each school come in and discuss what they are doing with the STEM program and some specific projects each school has done and where they are going in the future. And I think that's probably all online. If people want more, they have, there's a couple different handouts from the STEM program. That's online if people want to see more about it.
Thank you, Jenny.
In talking full circle, Mr. Lang, I believe, started our exchange program at the high school.
Yeah. It's that old?
I
He'll be here all night, folks. You gotta know.
Not allowed to be.
Try the veal.
As the HIB coordinator in the district, I believe.
Balance of power.
Age.
I'll be stepping down.
No. We've got a new policy for that. It goes with you from now on.
That's right.
That's right. Lisa, is there anything you wanted to say about Community Relations.
Our meetings were canceled.
Okay. Policy.
Okay. So you're probably all wondering, there's nothing for first reading. Okay. That's because we like to have, when we have our new members of the board come on, we like to have them have a fresh look at everything, not feel like, oh, there's stuff that's being sent down that they have to just approve. So don't take that to think that we weren't looking at stuff this month. There's a pile of them, so get ready.
A lot coming down.
Okay. So can I get a motion for the items up for second reading?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, great. We have 3 items. We have policy 9720, solicitation by vendors, regulation 7510, use of school facilities, and policy 6163, advertising on school property. So I'll just highlight some things. The key thing to, at least as far as the advertising and solicitation, we took the feedback from the first reading and we've improved them, I think, pretty dramatically. We added things related to any solicitation that's done, it has to be initiated by parents or the students. I think that was a very important addition to put in there. And, just to make it clear that when we deal with things like advertisement on school property, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's an endorsement on our part. So we just put in some clarity like that. Probably the most important one is just the use of school facilities, and we did a bunch of work on that, and it's mainly in relation to some questions that came up in terms of prioritization of our facilities by various groups within the community. So I think we've done a good job now of really clarifying what organizations fall in the different schedules. If anything, we have now an annual list of district-affiliated organizations that we'll approve on a yearly basis. So there's added clarity there.
Any questions? Okay, so a roll call.
Ms. Long.
Yes.
Wait, sorry. Can you roll call them separately, or how does it?
Oh, sure. So let's start with policy 9720, solicitations by vendors.
Yeah. Ms. Long.
Yes.
Mr. Markler.
Yes.
Ms. Peterson.
Yes.
Ms. Ballera. Mr. Swicky.
Yes.
Ms. Tracy.
Yes.
Ms. Wolf.
Yes.
Mr. DiDonato.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, regulation 7510, use of school facilities.
Mr. Markler.
Yes.
Ms. Peterson.
Yes.
Mr. Swicky.
Yes.
Ms. Tracy.
Yes.
Ms. Wolf.
Abstain.
Mr. DiDonato.
Yes.
Ms. Murray.
Yes. Policy 6163.
Ms. Peterson.
Yes.
Mr. Swicky.
Yes.
Ms. Tracy.
Yes.
Ms. Wolf.
Yes.
Mr. DiDonato.
Yes.
Mr. Markler.
Yes.
Ms. Murray.
Yes.
You know you skipped me on this last 2. I mean, I don't mind being overlooked. I'll just sit next to him in my red boots later.
All righty. Where are we? I'm lost.
Calendars.
Behind you, look behind you.
Calendar.
That's where we are.
Okay, that's what I figured. We're on school suspensions, right? Oh, the routine information, that's what's throwing me off. So, may I have a motion, please, to accept the calendars?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
So I think there was some emails going around earlier today. I think we're agreeing upon the 17th at 9 a.m. for our prep. Okay.
I didn't.
Don't look at me.
I would have, but nobody sent me. So I guess I'm another one.
Okay, so we have our reorg meeting before fact finding. Okay.
So, all those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed, abstained? Motion carries. Okay. Any items of new business? comment. Members of the public are invited to address the board on any matter for a maximum of 3 minutes during this portion of the meeting. You are asked to state your name, address, and municipality. In response to your comments, the Board of Education may respond or direct the superintendent to do so. The board may also opt to take the matter up at a future meeting so that the matter is researched by the district administration. Public comment is now open. No, you're good. Public comment is now closed. May I have a motion? What? Yeah. May I have a motion, please, to go into executive session to discuss our harassment, intimidation, and bullying matter?
Motion. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstain? Motion carries. Thank you, everyone.